Today we're going to take a closer look at Nvidia. Two updates, but we can see this has been an interesting week for the overall semiconductor industry. Nvidia was down roughly 8% in the past 5 days, sitting at close to $132 right now, and sitting super close to that 52-week low of $126.17. So in today's episode, I mentioned we're going to do two updates. The first one is going to be in the upcoming days. Monday, actually, Nvidia is going to start its overall GTC conference, and I do believe many of you guys are Nvidia investors or semiconductor investors, so I want to kind of showcase what are some of the cool events that as an investor maybe we should keep an eye out. The second thing I want to take a closer look at is one that's been very popular at the end of this week. We kind of got confirmation that EVGA, a partner of Nvidia, is no longer going to be supporting their next generation of cards. So I want to take a closer look at what this means for Nvidia and for its overall kind of company and revenue. So let's get started.
I do want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and make sure to check out fool.com/Jose to get the top 10 stocks to buy right now.
So for those not familiar, Nvidia is actually having a big conference of September 19th to September 22nd. They say this is the conference for the era of AI and the metaverse. And I, as an investor, but also as a huge fan of kind of technology evolving, I'm definitely going to be watching most of the show. But I know most of you guys are investors and just really want to know about kind of the future products that Nvidia is hitting. So let me kind of showcase what are some of the keynotes that you should be kind of watching. So I want to say there's probably only one must watch from this kind of conference, and that is going to be on Tuesday, September 20th. Starting at 11 a.m. and it's going to be about an hour and 30 minutes. And this is going to be the keynote. And I do believe here in the keynote is where we're going to see all the new technologies that Nvidia has been working for. I do believe we're also going to get more about Nvidia's kind of upcoming graphics cards, the 4000 generation, in this keynote. So for any investors of Nvidia, I would say definitely try to add this to your schedule. If not, I'm definitely going to be doing a video, so make sure to subscribe. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more outside of just their products and just see how other businesses are also using this technology, it can kind of give you an idea of how the market is evolving, not just in forms of Nvidia, but overall technology in general. If you go to their session catalog and if you look for audience type, there's one that says business executives. And here you can see that there's going to be some other types of sessions that deal with maybe you want to understand how apps are working with augmented and virtual reality. We can see this is going to be Tuesday. There are going to be a lot of fireside keynotes of kind of all types of markets. So definitely check it out. There are a lot. I'm pretty sure you won't be able to catch them all, but there might be some that interest you. If you are enjoying the episode so far, make sure to hit the thumbs up as it does help me grow my overall audience. If you want to support a little bit more, make sure to subscribe using my link at fool.com/Jose. Also, if you want to learn more about the semiconductor market, make sure to check out my newsletter. The link is down below. Now, the second news, and this is one that's been very popular, is a big partner of Nvidia, EVGA, mentions that they will not carry the next generations of graphics cards from Nvidia's platform. So for those not familiar with EVGA, this is a partner, an AIB partner of Nvidia, and they kind of design Nvidia's graphics cards to one way or another. So Nvidia kind of creates these technologies, they create these chips, and then they kind of license this technology to other partners out there. And those other partners use that technology to kind of create these graphics cards. These graphics cards at the end of the day are pretty much the same. The only thing that really is the difference might be some of the kind of software solutions that some other partners might provide. Maybe the cooling solutions might each partner. For example, some partners might go with 3-fan solutions, others might go with 2 fans. So Nvidia has numerous partners. They have, for example, Gigabyte, MSI, Asus, EVGA, Zotac, and the list goes on and on. One of their biggest partners is actually EVGA, and they actually announced that they are no longer going to be providing the next generations of graphics cards for Nvidia. John Petty Research actually had a pretty cool article. Definitely check it out, but I'm going to be highlighting some of the key points from here. EVGA is the leading AIB supplier in the United States and leading supplier in Europe. One of the main reasons for this partnership to end is one, overall financials. We can see gross margins for kind of these boards have kind of decreased dramatically. For example, AIB partners in early 2000s were making profit margins of roughly, we're having gross margins of roughly 25%. Fast forward now to 2022, it's less than, I want to say 8%, probably closer to that 5%. So this is no longer kind of attractive business for this kind of board companies like EVGA. So they're mentioning one of the first things is they're focused so much money in kind of innovating kind of the coolers, innovating the kind of packaging, everything else. Then they have to deal with advertisements. Then they have to deal with kind of customer support. The list goes on and on, that it gets super expensive, that these gross margins become even less and less. And then the overall kind of prices increases in everything else is also becoming a big issue. There are also reports online from numerous YouTubers that one of the main reasons that they are leaving these partnerships is because EVGA says that Nvidia has no longer treated them like a partner, but is pretty much just using them to kind of sell their products, where earlier on they felt like a true partner because Nvidia actually talked to them and shared like numerous product releases with them. Now they only get information when the public knows it, and they no longer feel like part of the kind of integrated Nvidia system. JPR also kind of showcased this way of how Nvidia might not be treating its partners that well right now. For example, Nvidia out of nowhere brought down one of its cards to super low prices of $1,099 and undercut many of its kind of partners that were offering their products for roughly $1,400. So then they were like, hey, how are you undercutting us when we're your partners? You didn't even mention to us that you're undercutting us, and now you're gonna undercut us to a part where we're not even gonna be making any money. And obviously this has to come with a bad time for Nvidia, as there is low demand for graphics cards due to the overall kind of crypto issue, due to the overall consumer market, and due to them over ordering on cards. So now let me explain how this might affect overall Nvidia. I want to say it's two stories here. First, I want to say at the end of the day, Nvidia is not going to lose much revenue out of this. There are other partners like Asus, like Gigabyte, like MSI, who are actually going to be able to produce the cards needed. It's not like this loss is going to create a huge hurdle for Nvidia. I think the biggest issue right now actually is just the oversupply compared to the low demand. But I don't believe Nvidia losing EVGA as a partner is going to hurt the company in forms of revenue. Someone else is going to pick up that market and is going to grab that market share from them. But what I do see as a bearish point here is in the future, other partners can actually approach Nvidia and say, hey, we need better margins. We need more respect as your partners. At the end of the day, I do believe one of the companies that has the most say will be whoever has the best graphics cards. At the moment, it's definitely Nvidia, so that ball is on their side of the court. But if things start to get tricky and competition starts to get pretty heavy, then it's going to be easier for their partners to try to kind of request more, because if not, they might go to other competition players instead. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.